There we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's Naked Truth. Believe it or not, I actually tested that before we went live. And I thought it was my broadcasting software, but it's not. Now I know it's my Stream Deck. So, hey. Um, oh my goodness. I'm sure you can tell just based on how fried I look right now. So, again, this is the Naked Truth. No makeup. All I did was wash my face and brush my teeth, and here I am on camera. Which kind of makes it nice to do it this early in the morning because then I can get my day started faster. But yeah, I'm here sending you internet hugs, says Stephen Summers. Thank you. Sending you internet hugs right back. So I know I titled this Naked Truth Losing My Mind. And like I said, you can probably read that all over my face. But I'm totally losing my mind. And I feel like throughout quarantine, we've all probably had our ups and downs. And there's certain days that you're like, I got this. I think I got this. I could keep doing this. And there's certain days when you're just like, what is even happening? There's no end in sight. How can I do this? And you kind of, at least for me, kind of roller coaster in and out of hopelessness and hopelessness when I'm down, and then feeling like I have renewed energy when I'm up. And I feel like it's interesting because when you look up like isolation vlogs or quarantine vlogs on YouTube, a lot of them are from 5 months ago, which makes me like laugh like a crazy person because here we are all these months later still doing this. And if we thought we were going nuts back then, boy, was the joke on us. Um, so basically, I just wanted to share the mental state of where I'm at and let anyone else know that if they are in this place, they are not alone, because I feel like we're all there. I don't even know what day it is of quarantine right now. Day blank of quarantine. I don't know. Since March. Since the day I had Hamilton tickets in March that got canceled the day of the performance I was supposed to go see that night. From that day until today, here we are. And there's still really no end in sight. I one of the things that I used to really find solace in through all this was being able to go outside, like just taking a walk outside, or just getting out of my, like the walls of my house, felt so nice. And I know how lucky I am to have a yard and to have a place to go outside where, I'm safely distanced from other people. But thanks to the entire west coast of the United States being on fire, you can't go outside anymore. It started with the heat wave, making like the UV quality of the air really bad and kind of pollution really bad. And then all the fires started, and now it's all smoke. So you may have seen pictures online of it looking like Silent Hill outside throughout the entire day, or some people have said like it looks like a really gross Instagram filter is on everything. That's what it's like outside. So you can't go outside anymore. You haven't been able to go outside at all where I live for at least a week. And I don't know when that's going to end. If you pray, please pray for rain for us. Or whatever you do, keep your fingers and toes crossed. Whatever it is that you do, please do that for rain here. Because a lot of us would love to be able to go outside. I'm very thankful that we have air conditioning, because if you don't have air conditioning, I don't even know how you would open your windows at this point. Luckily, the heat has dipped a little. The highest it got to in my area was 115 degrees Fahrenheit, which, let me just see if I can do a quick Google search what that is in Celsius. Fahrenheit to Celsius. It is 46.11 Celsius is the hottest that it got here. Let's see. Tim the Asian Ink says 68 days till Cyberpunk. You can do it. That's true. Cyberpunk is something to look for. PSW says that's unreal. I wish our government cared more about the environment. I wish so too. But it really does, as much as I think at the beginning of this, we were all like, well, it can't really get worse. Here we are. And even though we do have air conditioning, we're very, very lucky. Still a lot of that seeps through, and both my husband and my son have really bad allergies. So it's causing, difficulty breathing and a lot of migraines, and therefore difficulty doing anything else, because as those of you who get migraines know, it's like you're really pretty much immobilized when that happens for long periods of time, if not the whole chunk of the day. So that's a thing that's happening all the time now, thanks to that. Yeah, For me right now, when I say I'm losing my mind, I'm getting to the point where little things that I used to be able to handle, I feel like I'm so on edge and fried from everything else that little things are becoming a big deal. So, all that to say, if you're dealing with anyone in any capacity right now and they seem to snap over nothing, try to give them the benefit of the doubt that they might just really be on edge because of everything going on. I feel like that's the case for a lot of political arguments that you see online. I feel like people that might be willing to ordinarily listen to a different point of view are just so fried that they can't, which is making things really bad in that respect, which is also making me lose my mind. But yeah, like for me, an example of that is like little things that normally you'd be like, no problem, I got this, are suddenly a big deal. Like one of my computers completely going down during a sponsored stream this week on Twitch. Hilarious. Or a video not being edited in time and I'm like losing sleep over it, or online arguments for political or whatever reasons, all become like such a big deal. And I think that it's because there's so much out of our control right now that, I don't know, you feel totally out of control, which was a big thing for me because I get by and I cope in life by being on top of things. So when everything is out of my control, I just kind of lose it. Yeah, America's a hot trash fire of a mess right now. And so Nate and I keep thinking like if we could move to New Zealand, maybe that would be helpful, but nobody wants us. Nobody wants people from the United States right now, which to be fair, I totally get. Nate and I actually met with a New Zealand migration company just to kind of see like, what would be our chances? And our chances are very slim. That's what we found out. Our chances are very slim. Nick Kellis says, that's really it. Forgive people for snapping right now. I teach high school and it's been really hard to teach through a computer screen with everyone mentally over this. I'm sure. And Nick, thank you so much for being a teacher right now and for doing all that you're doing. I can't imagine how hard it is. I see family members who are not so technologically adept trying to navigate it from a home perspective, and I'm sure there are teachers trying to navigate new technology that you've never dealt with before, but please know that so many of us support you in the work you're doing, and thank you for that. But yeah, there's so much out of the control between the political nightmare that is America right now and my whole state and really the whole West Coast being on fire, and the wildfires getting worse and worse every single year. Catnip Ninja, thank you for the super chat, says, is this the wildfires started by the gender reveal party? So I know everyone's heard a lot about that. The wildfires started by the gender reveal party was down in San Diego. So that's about 3 hours south of Los Angeles. The worst wildfires are up north of us, closer to San Francisco, Oregon. Like that whole area has tons of the fires. And I think there's still the fires that were started by the electrical storm during the heat wave. The gender reveal party was just one fire that's down south, even though I know that's gotten a lot of like internet traction because it's so bizarre. The two fires that are closest to where I am in LA, I don't know why either of them started. I mean, honestly, like I said, it's been like 115 degrees and everything's really dry and we haven't had rain in forever. So like the tiniest little thing can spark a fire that gets out of control, especially on a really windy day. Yeah, Chris says we had lightning storm fires in the Bay Area here. Exactly. One fire among many, the motto of 2020. Yes, Stephen Summers, you totally called it. So normally, when I get in this state of mind where I feel like everything's out of my control, I sink myself into video games and I sink myself into work. And I'm very lucky that sometimes those two things intersect. But I've been doing that now for 6 months and it's not as effective anymore. And it's also not super healthy to be like, hey, I've been working every day for 6 months straight and it's not making me feel better. And bless, a friend of mine texted me this morning and was like, just get in the bathtub, read a book. And I'm like, that sounds hilarious. I'm also currently making pancakes while a toddler's screaming at me while my poor husband, who has a migraine, who I just gave 3 Excedrin to, is sleeping in bed trying to sleep this migraine off. Like, the idea of a bath and a book is a luxury that I will not have for quite some time. But a nice idea in thought. It's just, yeah, I mean, it's never ending. And so my heart also goes out to parents right now. My heart goes out to teachers right now. My heart goes out to firefighters and firefighters' families right now, and all the people displaced by the wildfires that probably feel like no one cares about them because our country is such a hot trash fire. Cyclops TB says, I've been losing my mind since last year's October because my apartment building has not gotten a new boiler for all stoves, ovens, and laundry dryers. Is that legal? I don't know where you live, but I feel like in America, if it's something that's in your lease, you can stop paying rent until they fix it. I mean, do your arms feel better, says Catnip Ninja. You know what? That's a small blessing. I still can't extend them straight all the way. They still have to stay bent a little because they're still really sore in here. But yes. Vignesh Nalamad just gave a super chat. Thank you so much. I'm not sure what the conversion is on that super chat, but thank you so much for that super chat. It says, I spent my college days watching your videos. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Really appreciate it. And I didn't mention this at the beginning of today's stream, but any super chats or donations that come in today are going to go to the American Red Cross for the victims who are being displaced by the fires right now, and for help for everybody with the fires. Joker Joe, thank you for the super chat. Says, sorry you're feeling stressed right now, Trish. If it helps at all, I sent some birthday gifts over. Should be there Monday. You're so sweet. Thank you very much. Yeah, to top it all off, my birthday's Tuesday. But we can't really do much. The good news is, if any of you remember Max, my nephew Max, who is formerly out here to intern and kind of learn what it's like to be a content creator and work in the gaming industry, he has come back out here. So he's out here again, which is great. And he said that tonight, after we put Logan to bed, he's going to stay up and play video games, but that he wouldn't mind, you know, he'll be home anyway. He wouldn't mind if Nate and I go to a drive-in. So tonight, as like a little birthday, what we can do, Nate and I are going to go to a drive-in and see Star Wars. So we'll be safely in our car, COVID safe away from everybody else, but it'll be the first time I've been out of the house in ages. So it should be really nice. Took it home to Jenny, says, is there anything we can do to help? No, but thank you. Now, if I can think of something, I'll let you know in the Discord. The wholesome venting channel of the Discord is so lovely. If you have not been there, the whole Discord's lovely, but if you have not been to the wholesome venting Discord channel, it is the best. Everyone's just kind of there for each other, and it's so, so nice. Stephen Summers says, happy 26th birthday, Trisha. Thank you for saying it's my 26th birthday. I feel like this whole experience has made me like, oh God, where are the gray hairs? Do you see any? They're in there. I know I got like 2 or 3 more the day I gave birth to Logan, but I'm like, there's going to be so many more after this. I'm going to have like I hope it comes in. I hope when I start to go gray, it comes in like a rogue streak. That would be awesome. But my chances are it's probably not. It's probably going to come all over. So yeah, normally I sink myself into work and video games, and that's not really helping anymore either. As far as self-care indoors, I need new ideas. I've exhausted all of mine, or I just don't have time for them anymore with parenting 24/7. I'm kind of sick of Zoom Jackbox nights as my only social experiences with other people, and even video games are lovely, but they're only a temporary escape, and then you kind of come crashing back to reality. Jim Jackson, thank you for the generous donation. Thank you, and says happy birthday. I appreciate that, and the American Red Cross is going to appreciate that too. You guys are the best. David Grover says, check the intake filters on your HVAC and see if you can put in more efficient ones to help with the ash. We just replaced our filters last night. Good call. And then I was reading a thing because I saw that someone on Discord posted Phil DeFranco's video from Thursday where he was, I guess, in a very similar mental state to where I am now, where he was like, I'm just done. Like with all of it. And then I read a thing after that, and I don't know how true this is, but saying that like when you're breathing in really bad smoky air and you have lower oxygen levels, that can like put people in a more tired and, like more depressed and stressed out mental state. So I wonder if that's kind of what's affecting everybody too. Dragon King says, thankfully this election is nothing like 2016. What do you mean by that? I would love to know more about that. Tim753100, thank you for the super chat, says, I'm not up north in Sacramento and you're right about the fires. Even miles away you can see the clouds of smoke in the middle of the street. Yeah, it's insane. Tim, please stay safe up there. Do whatever you can. Please, 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 please. Yeah, I think one of the bigger things that's gotten to me over the course of this, that's kind of put me in this state of, we used to joke around that when Logan's having a really bad day, he's being everything's the worst guy. The things that have put me in everything's the worst, Trish, mental state, is missing a lot of big events. Like, I'm just sick of missing big events. My sister's wedding, my mom's retirement, my parents' 40th anniversary, me and Nate's 5th anniversary is coming up, and like, we're not even going to be able to go out to dinner. Like, we're not going to be able to celebrate it all. Countless birthdays, Halloween trick-or-treating this year. I'm going to have to come up with like fun indoor in our house. I know a lot of people were saying they're going to do like an Easter egg hunt, but a Halloween hunt in their house for their kids. Fun Halloween activities. Thank you for the super chat. Bronzdar says, being in my mid-30s, I don't know that there's been anything like this stuff going on today. And that's where I am as well, Bronzdar, and I feel the same way. Captain Robert April says, remember that joke I sent you? Now might be a good time to drag that out. Send it, you know what? Send it to me again so that I have it front and center. Boom 12 says, it must be hard to miss those events. It sure breaks hearts. It absolutely does. And, you know, I'm thinking like someday in the future when all this is cleared up, maybe, I mean, if we're not in the apocalypse, which in California right now, it sure feels like it. Someday, if and when all of this clears up and gets better, I need to do like a big week-long celebration where like Sunday, we celebrate my sister's wedding. Monday, we celebrate mom and dad's 40th. Tuesday, we celebrate my mom's retirement. Wednesday, we celebrate me and Nate's 5th wedding anniversary. Thursday, you know, and just like all the things we've been missing, and do like a big week-long celebration. But that seems like so far away. There's no light at the end of the tunnel. Is that even going to happen? Dan Lazaro, thank you for the super chat, says, I've never needed anyone. It's been 6 months of isolation for me, and this last week was really rough. I've been losing it. I started reaching out to friends and family. It's really hard for everyone. It is, and thank you for sharing that, Dan. Please know that you're not alone. I'm sorry you're feeling that way. That's when I was like, what am I going to title this week's Naked Truth? I'm Losing My Mind is the only appropriate title for it. Yeah, it's just, and again, shout out to the parents, because it is absolutely exhausting trying to parent full-time with no help. And what I mean by no help is no family members that you can say like, hey, I'm dropping you off at grandma's for the afternoon while I get some stuff done. Or babysitting help so that you can go out and have like just a night out where you get to feel like an adult. Or daycare or school or anything. Like, there's no break from the parenting job, which is full-time. More than full-time. It is, for us, it's about 7:30 a.m. until 8 p.m. and then a couple wake-ups during the night. And that's every day. And it's what it is. That's what being a parent is. But normally they say it takes a village, because you rely on other people to help you out with that. And no one has a village right now. Some people that live close to their family have opened their quarantine bubbles, and we have friends that are doing that. But my parents are in Pennsylvania. My husband's parents are in New Mexico. So we don't have that kind of support system nearby to rely on. And I can only imagine parents that are trying to do distance learning with their kids that are at a higher school level. I mean, I'm fully capable of teaching my son the alphabet, you know, in the very beginnings of learning how to read and things like the planets of the solar system. But I can't even imagine if your kids are in high school trying to learn like trigonometry, which you haven't studied for years and years and years and years and years since high school, trying to then relearn that yourself, to teach it to them, to help them when they're having trouble distance learning. Like, hats off to those people. Kevin Shea, thank you for the super chat. People are divided. America's very, very divided, 100%. Curtis Jeremiah, thank you for the super chat. Says, considering your birthday soon, and my birthday's on the 18th, happy September birthday. Happy September birthday! And you said you're turning 25. Happy quarter century to you. Yes. Catnip Ninja says, don't get me started on that Common Core math. Right. That's what I'm saying. It's just, yeah, everybody's exhausted. Everybody's at the end of their rope. It's just, yeah. And I understand technology. I can't imagine being a parent right now that doesn't really work with tech in a very hands-on way and is trying to figure out how to get into Zoom calls, or why the audio is not working, or, you know, troubleshoot that kind of stuff when that's not your interest or what you do. I can't imagine how frustrating that must be on top of all of this. Barrow C says, one positive is that no one now complains about people's kids screaming in the background on work calls, because what can you do? It's true. You know what you can do? I actually just wrote a video on this for Kingston, which will be coming out in a few weeks. I probably have to film it this week and then it'll come out the week after. But NVIDIA's new broadcaster app software has AI noise reduction. You can do that if you have a RTX graphics card. That's where my brain goes. Boom12, thank you for the super chat. Says, this is thanks to you, Trish. It's these vlogs that give me life. I probably wouldn't be alive if I didn't hear your vlogs here and from everyone here. Boom. So many hearts to you. Thank you for sharing that. If you're not already in the Discord, please, please, please join the Discord. It is the most lovely community. We are here for each other that there can be, and it's been helping me so much. Yeah, I guess, you know, I'm losing my mind because I'm exhausted and at the end of my rope for all of the reasons I've mentioned so far. And I think just when you add on top of that it feels like that a lot of people aren't taking any of this seriously, because then I feel like we will never get out of this never-ending cycle that just seems to be getting worse and worse and worse. So that's incredibly frustrating to me. And yeah, I mean, I was talking to Maud a little bit yesterday during Power Down, which we film right after Power Up on Fridays, which will now be Thursdays moving forward, by the way. I was talking to Maud about this yesterday, but I volunteer with a couple local organizations, so that gives me hope that maybe we can enact some change, but even that is very defeated, feeling very defeated right now, but trying to change your little bubble. There was a quote that someone shared on Facebook, I think it was from Jane Goodall, that was basically saying, you know, if you focus on things at a global scale, you will always feel defeated and depressed. But if you focus on just your little bubble and the change you can enact in your little bubble, and if we each change our little bubbles, then together we can make a big change. So I keep trying to think about that right now. Jack Fair says, I'm an introvert by nature, and the early months of this were a breeze. But even I've reached my limits and miss my friends. I'm diving into Twitch streams, yours and others, just to hear voices. Right? I saw a meme a couple months ago, like in the midst of when all this was happening, of someone saying, like, it was like a little cartoon, you've probably seen it, that was like before 2020, and it was like extroverts holding introverts by the hand and walking them through it. And then it was like 2020, introverts holding extroverts by the hand and walking them through it. So to all my introverted friends, I'm like, please tell me how to do this, because I thrive off seeing friends and seeing other people and going to big events like conventions and stuff. And I haven't had that in so long. And like every announcement that another one's canceled for 2020, I'm just like, ugh. And like, I understand why. It's obviously the safe thing to do, but is it so heartbreaking? Cyclops says, I believe everybody will use their minds if, lose their minds if Halloween is canceled. Halloween is canceled here in LA. So like I said, we're just going to have to find like other fun things to do. I'm still going to get Logan a costume and he can dress up and take pictures. We're not going trick-or-treating. But we might be able to do some kind of like haunted hunt or something in our backyard. Like an Easter egg hunt, but for candy or something. I have to think of fun things to do. Maybe I'll make dirt dessert and put like little graves and gummy worms and stuff in it. We'll still celebrate, just in a way that will be just us, because that's the new normal. So I guess my question for you guys, the RCV says, as an introvert, I'll point you in the right direction, but not holding anybody's hand. I totally get that. That shouldn't be on you. And Ghost Dog says there's data suggesting this is going to get worse in the fall and winter. I know. And every time I read something like that, I'm just like, cool. Great, cool, great. Cool, let's keep going. We can do it. And like I said, I have some days that are better than others, but just lately I've been in a really bad funk. Please let it rain soon so that our air quality gets better. So at least things like going to, maybe driving to like a park that's like a big open area that, you know, is still open and staying very socially distanced away from other people, but having a picnic outside, maybe something like that, just for something to do could be a thing. Catnip Ninja says Halloween is not canceled. It will just be celebrated differently. That is very, very true. So yeah, my questions for you guys is what indoor self-care ideas do you have? Maybe you have some that I haven't thought of yet. The one, I mean, for me, it's just sinking into video games, because what I used to do for indoor self-care is like just lay in a bath and try to read a book. But I find that when I do this, my mind wanders to all the things that are upsetting me, as opposed to a video game where I have to like full focus in. And certain games are better for this than others, but games where I have to full focus in are a really complete escape, because my mind doesn't wander to all the other things. It actually just lets me focus on that, which is lovely. Took it home to Jenny, says the hardest thing is feeling like I can't help people who are having it worse, so here's to the Red Cross. Thank you so much for your donation. Yes, 100% there. I read that the Red Cross is trying to put people who had to evacuate their homes or their homes have been destroyed in motels. Normally what they do for fire evacuations is take like a school gymnasium or something like that and set up a ton of cots and a ton of like food stations and stuff. And then the American Red Cross tries to use their pull and their money to help people get medications that maybe they had to leave at their house or were destroyed, et cetera, et cetera. But because of COVID, right now, they're not putting a ton of people together in giant rooms. So they're trying to put people in individual motels, like households and stuff. So obviously you can imagine that's a lot more costly and a lot more administrative work. So yeah, I hats off to everyone doing all the work. Hats off to the firefighters, your heroes, firefighters' families. Like it's so much. It's crazy right now. Eric Z says seeing all the homeless people in California breaks my heart. It's California and Oregon, and I think Washington too. I know Oregon and California are really, really bad. EMDYX, hi, says hi from Mexico. Hi to you in Mexico. Maybe we'll come be with you soon. Keep it up. Everything has its time. The worldwide pandemic is getting our nerves freaked. Send you my good vibes and following till the end. Love and respect. Thank you. Love and respect to you too. And if we end up moving to Mexico, I will hit you up and be like, yo, let's meet up for coffee, if meeting up for coffee is a thing. Stephen Summers says it's probably Washington because that's the year we're having. Oh, where the fire is really bad. Boom 12 says Mexico rules. Lisa says, Trisha, I'm with you on the video games, but in quarantine, I started gardening. I've gone full science on this with learning about microorganisms and such. It takes my mind off things because it's new. Thank you for that suggestion. And you're absolutely right. Maybe getting into a hobby that's new would take my mind off things more, because it's something I haven't done before. And gardening sounds so lovely. Just being outside right now sounds so lovely. King Vegeta, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, miss you guys. Go Niners. I will tell Nate you said that. He'll be very excited. Bronze Dar says, mine's been teaching my sons how to play League of Legends. Teach them to deal with toxic behavior, LOL. I was going to say, you want to teach me how to play League of Legends while you're at it? I think that game looks so fun, and I've played it like once, and the toxic behavior was so gnarly. I was like, this is not fun. Thank you, goodbye. I actually spent more time in Dota and Heroes of the Storm, but LOL is the one that I want to learn. People are just crappy there. Catnip Ninja says, learn something new, like a new skill. That's true. That's a good one. Eric Z says, Trisha, have you ever heard of Invisible People? It's an amazing nonprofit. No, but I'll look it up. Thank you. Darts. Playing darts, says Boom 12. Okay. And you installed a dartboard in your bedroom and have been playing practice games. That's cool. Brown Star says, also being an essential employee, so I've had that going for me. Man, thank you for being out and about as an essential employee. And I didn't even mention people who don't have jobs right now and haven't had jobs for a long time, or are watching their businesses slowly crumple into oblivion because they can't make money but still have to pay overhead costs. It is a grueling time right now for a lot of people. Justin Clowater, thank you for the super chat, says yoga and Tai Chi are really good for keeping calm in these times. Easy to learn and something the whole family could do. That's true. My little dude, I keep trying to get him into Cosmic Kids Yoga, and he just watches it. He has zero interest in doing it. But I have been working out. I've been working out virtually with a trainer once a week. Nate and I are trying to do that through pandemic, so we don't just turn into big lumps. And I know someone brought this up earlier. Could you talk to a therapist? I have been seeing a therapist once a week. My husband and I are both seeing a therapist once a week because it's like, it doesn't matter how much you love someone, being stuck inside with them and only them for 6 months and not being able to see other people would be grueling on any relationship. So, we're just trying to find ways to best navigate that and make sure that we're being sensitive to the other person's needs all the time. But talking to someone certainly helps. And I'm a huge advocate. If your health insurance covers any kind of therapy or counseling, like, do it. It's the best thing you can do for yourself. I hate the negative stigma that is associated with seeing a counselor because all of us can benefit from having a third objective party to talk to. I don't care who you are. So it's great. Eric Milady says, I know it's not for everyone, but when I'm stressed, I put on my headphones and watch some ASMR videos. It's definitely not for everyone, but if it helps calm you, that's cool. I've actually heard some ASMR videos that were fairly calming to me. But then I'll stumble onto one that I'm like, nope. It feels like someone's spitting in my ear and I can't do it. So it depends on the ASMR channel, I would say. And so, yeah, I was asking you guys, what are your indoor self-care ideas? And also just in general, and you've been sharing these anyway, what helps you when times get tough? And what's been working for you? I'm laughing at Levi Shackleton says, I love you all. As a Seahawks fan, I even love you Niners fans. My husband's the Niners fan in the house, to be fair. I grew up near Philly, so I have to be an Eagles fan. It's how I was born and raised. But we've had a lot of conversations about who Logan's team will be. Because technically, now in LA, Logan has a home team. And so do we try to make him root for dad's team or mom's team, or does he get his own team? I don't know. Right now, he just has jerseys for everybody. Tim the Asian Ink says, I learned how to juggle 3 balls. Congratulations. And going to work and watching Magic for Humans. Also memes. It's not much, but it's honest work. LOL. Yes, learning to juggle would be great. I love juggling. I can juggle 3 balls. I do not juggle 4 balls very well. But yeah, I can juggle 3, but the next thing I need to work on in my juggling is I've been able to juggle since 6th grade. That's about when I taught myself. But when I juggle, I still keep my eyes on the top of the arch of the balls, which if you're going to perform and juggle, you want to be able to look at the audience and look at other things while you're juggling. You don't want to have to stare at the balls to know where they're going to land. So that's the next thing I need to work on if I'm going to increase my juggling skill. Sorry, that just got really nerdy for juggling people for a second, but... Miranda says, smoking MJ helps me with anxiety lately, but I get it's not for everyone. Yeah, totally. Some people it makes their anxiety worse. We live in California, where it is very accepted and readily available to do that. So we tend to, in this house, if we are going to partake and use that to kind of calm ourselves down and calm anxiety, we usually get gummies. We don't smoke because our baby throats can't handle it. I've never smoked cigarettes, so my baby throat is like, no thank you. Sheldon Marquez says, California residents, please make sure you change those filters, people, right? In fact, we had to replace and upgrade our HVAC, a couple years ago. And when we did, they threw in a free Nest thermostat. So we have one of those fancy pants Nest thermostats, which we would have never gotten, I don't think, on our own. But the nice thing about it was yesterday, it was like, hey, here's a reminder, your filter needs to be changed. And I was like, ooh, yes, thank you. So we just replaced them, but good call. Eric Z says, Trish, dream guests for Naked Truth. I've had so many of my friends on because this series is so old. I don't even know. Xenocore01 says, times like this make me think of Air Force basic training has be better suited for times like this, but refocusing on gaming tasks keeps me sane. Did you go through Air Force basic training? That's really cool. Thank you for your service. I have a lot of friends and family members that are in different branches of the military, and seeing kind of their perspective on everything that's happening right now, which they all have very varied perspectives, which, it's America, so of course there's lots of different opinions, but I think a lot of times people tend to think, oh, military all feel this way, police all feel this way, etc., etc., but at least from what I've seen from my friends and family members that are in the military, they range the entire spectrum of varying opinions on what's happening right now. So it's kind of fascinating to watch. Don't forget the filter in your car, says Are We Dead Yet? Good call. I haven't really been using the car. Like, I know you're supposed to start it once a week or something like that just for the health of your car, but I'm like, mine's just been sitting there for so long. I'm saving money on gas. I have a plug-in hybrid anyway, so I don't really fill it up with gas very often anyway, but still. Oh my goodness. New video cards are something to look forward to if you can afford them, Cleric. Although I'm one of those people that's like, but I just got a 2080 Ti, and now you're telling me a 3080 that's double the performance is going to be half the price in just a few months? Well, gee, don't I feel stupid? So I'm definitely in that boat, which I understand is a good problem to have. Not everyone could just upgrade to a 2080, but it does feel a little silly. CP says, oof, LOL. Yeah, exactly. The problem of PC gaming, always something new. Yes, 100%. But yeah, so I mean, that's where I am right now. In fact, I felt bad because a friend of mine, who may or may not be in chat, but a friend of mine texted me this morning and was like, oh man, PlayStation just dropped some news on Twitter. Which normally when I see that, I'm like, ooh, let me get right on Twitter and check it out and retweet it. And this morning I had a toddler screaming at me, pulling on my leg, a husband in bed with Excedrin from a migraine. I was trying to make pancakes and realizing after I already started making the batter that we didn't have enough eggs. And I get this text about PlayStation, and all I can think is, Sony, it's Saturday morning. What are you doing? Go home. Go home. Let people not work for 2 seconds, but it's because I'm so on edge. So all of that to say, again, if people snap, try to give them the benefit of the doubt, because everybody's just so fried. And to that friend, I love you and I appreciate you, and thank you for texting me that, and I hope that you didn't take that personally, that I just had a small meltdown. Go home, Sony, you're drunk, says Steven Summers. 100%. It is Saturday morning. Let your employees go home. Jake Manelonson says, do a social media break as well. It has negative effects to your mental state. That 100%. I think part of the reason that I get so overwhelmed and so fried is because I am on social media every single day for work, and it just feels like I'm being inundated with the clickbaity shock reaction headlines. And if you go deep or even a little down that rabbit hole, it just, I mean, you turn into everything's the worst guy. You turn into everything's the worst guy. Boom12 says pancake batter making and no eggs. I know. I had to throw it out and get him cinnamon toast anyway. Yeah. So anyway, Sony made an announcement this morning. Ha 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 ha. They're doing a thing on Wednesday. I will most certainly co-stream it. But yeah, I was like, I can't get on Twitter this morning. I can't. I need a day off from Twitter. Twitter needs to go home. Genevieve Bergman says, now I want breakfast. I totally get that. I think that Nate, just to get out of the house, is going to go grocery shopping today and get eggs. And that will definitely happen. Have a Twitter purge, says Took It Home to Jenny. Oh, like purging accounts? I should definitely do that at some point. But no, for me, it's, you know, my default when I get on Twitter is to look at the trending topics, because normally there's some good video game news in there, or like about my favorite TV show or something like that. But I swear, for the past year, if not more, every time you look at Twitter trending topics, it is people arguing about politics. That's all it is every single day. And it turns me into everything's the worst guy. Hope you show up on Fungeon Season 3, says Steven Summers. I hope so too. We shall see. I know there have been talks, but nothing official has been secured at this point. At least we're talking about it, says Steven Summers. Yes, at least we're talking about it, for sure. Agreed. Let's see. Go on a drive to the countryside, take off your shoes, and ground yourself for a few minutes. Yeah, if the countryside that wasn't overrun by smoke was a thing, I will do that immediately. EM Dick says, do you take vitamins? I do take vitamins. Do I get good sleep at night? No, I get horrible sleep at night. Not only because sometimes little man wakes up at night because he can't breathe through his nose because of his allergies and all the smoke, but also just because I'm like a huge ball of stress, and I wake up in the middle of the night for no reason, and then I'm up for hours. Some nights that's better than others, though. It just depends. California's countryside is unavailable at the moment, says Core01. That is 100% true. James says, move to Texas. No joke, guys. If I could, like, blink 3 times and move to New Zealand, just, like, teleport there, I so would. I so would. If there's any Kiwis watching right now, we wanna be with you. But that's not realistic exactly. Mostly. Captain Robert April says, in Southern California, most of the great outdoors is open desert or presently on fire. Or both. Yeah, please let it rain soon. So anyway, this has been a very, very honest, I am losing my mind, Naked Truth. But that's what the Naked Truth is all about. It's about being as honest as you can be, unfiltered, no editing, no makeup, even though I have this, like, super weird lip pimple right here that looks weird because it's right under my nose. I can't care. I just can't care anymore. So I am probably going to take the day off social media today after this altogether, and try to make life in my house a little more bearable for everybody. And I will be streaming tomorrow. I'm going to stream Tell Me Why Chapter 2. I've been really enjoying that game. So I'm going to stream that tomorrow morning to Twitch at 10 a.m. And if you haven't seen them, I did post some videos to this YouTube channel this week. I posted 2 this week. What's happening? I know, crazy, right? I posted a video on that new beautiful laptop Alienware sent me. Seriously, it's so nice. And I got an early preview of the new Ubisoft game, Immortals Fenyx Rising, and they let me post 30 minutes of gameplay, which is cool because it was like just announced on Thursday. So both those videos are live on this channel right now if you haven't seen them, because I know that YouTube new video subscriber alerts are total dirt. So this is your other alert for that. But yeah, streaming to Twitch tomorrow morning for Tell Me Why Chapter 2. And hoping that the drive-through can happen tonight, and that is a nice get out of the house Star Wars funsy time. Don't send the laptop back, keep it forever, says Xenocore. It's so beautiful, right? It's so beautiful. Alienware actually has always been super nice to me. A lot of companies that send you stuff as a content creator send it to you with a return label, and as soon as you're done making your video on it, you send it right back, and then they send it to someone else. I think that's how it works normally. But yeah, normally you have to send everything back. You still disclose in the video, like, they sent me this, so people don't think that you spent your own $4,000 or whatever getting it. But yeah, normally you have to give it back. But Alienware, because I'm a member of the Alienware Hive, is like, look, if you think you're going to use it to make more content, or you think it's going to appear in future videos, keep it. They're so cool like that. Which again, it's not like a contract or like a we're paying you to show it off or anything like that. Just if you'll genuinely use it, use it. Which is why I have so much Alienware stuff in my studio. My keyboard, my mouse, my gaming computer, now this laptop. They're super cool like that. Kerbo Custom says that's cool of them. It is cool of them. And there's certain companies that are like, we're sending you this thing, and you can keep it, but every single time it shows up in anything, even if it's in the back corner, you have to do all this legal disclosure. And a lot of times the legal disclosure they want is for you to put hashtag ad on everything. But I'm like, but then people think you're getting paid for every one of those videos. And they're just doing that to circumnavigate the like, well, legally, since we let you keep it, if you show it, then that's getting some type of compensation. It turns into an absolute legal mess. So a lot of times I'm like, no, I would just rather give it back. Not using their free t-shirts. Exactly. Some people are like, we sent you a t-shirt, you have to put hashtag ad on that. And I'm like, Or one of the companies, I won't mention who, anytime they invite you to an event, if they feed you at the event, you have to put hashtag sponsored or hashtag ad, because they compensated you with the food that was at the event. And I'm like, if I invite someone over my house and I have chips and salsa out, and they Instagram from my house, they don't have to put hashtag ad because they ate the chips and salsa at my house. What? It's crazy. Just keep your hashtag thanks, says Kerbo Customs. Yeah, it's crazy. So also, I say that to say, be nice to content creators. If you see them put hashtag ad on something or hashtag free product or whatever, don't always assume that they're selling out. Sometimes they're just legally doing what they are being told they have to do. Boom12 says, as long as it isn't Raid Shadow Legends. Oh my god, you're hilarious. Thank you for making me laugh. Thank you guys for hanging out for this time. Thank you. Genevieve Bergman says, I'd be all over hashtagging Trisha's nachos. You are hilarious. Thank you guys. Thank you for making me laugh. Llama Dungeon says, geez, 21st century social marketing and business relationships is weird. It is weird. So yeah, all of that to say, I really appreciate companies that are just kind of chill, that are just like, we don't want to do a contract or do any of that weird stuff. If you like it and you want to tell people you like it, that's entirely up to you. If you don't like it and want to tell people you don't like it, that's entirely up to you. If you think you'll use it, cool. Like, I super appreciate that. So yeah, thank you. Nathan S says, I think selling out isn't much of a thing anymore. People need to make that money. Yeah, that could actually be a whole separate Naked Truth topic for another time about content creators. Like someone, because I did, I don't know if you saw the wireless audio home theater system video that I put on this channel. It was a partnered video. Someone in chat was like, this isn't the content I came here for. You just sold out. And I'm like, because I talked about tech on a channel that has talked about tech for 6 years. Like, because I'm like, that's exactly what that video would have looked like if it wasn't partnered. If I bought a new home theater system. So like, it's very confusing to me why having that like hashtag ad or sponsored disclaimer suddenly invalidates everything that was said in that video, especially if it's the type of content you make anyway. Like if I randomly was like, here's a 20-minute video on a lipstick, I could totally understand everyone being like, cool. But like this channel at the top says tech, gaming, and the Naked Truth. That is what is on this channel. That is what has always been on this channel. Andrew Thomas says, I get it, and I'm a starting content creator too. I'm sorry, Andrew Thomas, that you get it. It's very weird. Cat Ninja says, everyone grab your super soakers and head to Cali. Let's quench this fire. I know, right? Ghost Dog says, I've grown to despise Raid Shadow Legends and AFK Arena because of the ads everywhere, lol. I totally get that. I'm the same way about WikiBuy. I'm like, if I have to see that ad one more time, I swear. It's so funny. It's so funny. Andrew Thomas says, I'm working on my own movie review show, which is a new YouTube channel. That's awesome! Grey Gardane says, haha, we know what next year's April Fool's video is going to be. A 20-minute video on lipstick. That's funny. That is funny. Well, CP says, we would be just as excited about you doing lipstick ads as we are for mobile games. We will cheer for anything as long as they pay you, lol. Thank you. I mean, it's true. Like, while it is fun to do this for free, it's more fun to be able to pay my mortgage and feed my family. So, especially if it's content that's the type of content I normally make anyway. Yes. But I do always, and maybe it comes from not all content creators having this conversation, but I do always have a conversation with any brand before I decide to partner that anytime I partner, I will not do a review, because I do not believe you can do an honest, critical review of a product if the brand has to approve the video. Like, that's just not something that can happen. So I'm happy to do a like 5 things you didn't know about this phone, or, you know, an informational video about a partnered thing. But yeah, I don't want to do a critical review of it because that's weird and you can't really do that anyway. Steven Summers says, Trisha for G4. Oh my God, yes, guys. I would love to do it so much. They're doing like this bizarre social media campaign for it. So if anyone wants to go on social media and use I think it's hashtag G4 needs a host or something like that. If anyone wants to use that hashtag and tell them that girl Trish would be a great choice, please go do that. I would really love to have that job. But yeah, I guess I need to edit together an audition video and send it to them, which is so weird because that's not normally how Hollywood casts stuff. So I think all the people that normally host for a living are like, I don't know what to do. Like the making an audition video and submitting via a hashtag feels very much like I've never been on camera before and this would be a dream job, as opposed to I've been working in the industry for over a decade and these are not the normal channels. So I think everyone who just normally does it is like, what? Cyclops says YouTube videos or channels you follow get deleted makes me lose my mind. That makes me lose my mind too. I hope that didn't happen. Hashtag G4 needs talent, I guess is the hashtag. Thank you. Yes. Eric Z says, yeah, Trish, send it. Okay, yeah, I guess I will. So bizarre. Yeah, a lot of people have done Patreon. Trisha, do you have a sizzle reel? I have a hosting reel. I have a sizzle reel for my Twitch channel. And I have a hosting reel, but I don't really have... And my hosting reel is more just kind of like a video resume. Like, it's a lot of like, here's all the different shows that I've hosted on. As opposed to like super flashy, fun, goofy times, which is what I would think more of a sizzle reel is. So maybe I should do that too. But yeah, thank you guys. I know I've tried to end this video 3 times already, probably. But honestly, it's really nice to connect. So I appreciate you. Thank you for listening to me vent, and we can all continue this conversation on the Discord and in other stuff. Took it home to Jenny says, we have raised so much money for the Red Cross today. We have. Let me see if I can get a total on it. YouTube is very bizarre and I have a hard time seeing how that works. Oh, okay, here we go. I found it. Revenue in chat today has been $260. So thank you, everybody that helped. We have raised $260 for the Red Cross today. You are all the best. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you. And yeah, the next Naked Truth should be in 2 weeks. And I have been putting off making a pretty big Naked Truth announcement for quite some time. So hopefully I will get that together in time for the next Naked Truth. Keep your fingers crossed. That's just a little teasing. So yay! Go drink some water, Trish. I totally need to do that. Can you tell how chapped my lips are? Everything is so dry. My throat's so dry. My lips are so dry. Everything is so dry because of staying inside with the air conditioning and all the smoke seeping in. So yeah, I'm going to go do that. So thank you, everybody. You're amazing, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow for the Sunday morning stream. Bye, everyone!